As the crisis within the People's Democratic Party intensifies, the National Disciplinary Committee, headed by former Minister of Foreign Affairs Tommy Kimmy, has recommended the expulsion of former River State Governor Nyesom Wike's loyalist, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, from the party. In a letter signed by Kimmy on March 10 and received by the office of the PDP Acting National Chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, on March 11, which was exclusively obtained, revealed that Senator Samuel Anyanwu was engaged in anti-party activities contrary to the provisions of Article 58 sub 1F of the PDP Constitution 2017 and conduct likely to disrupt the peaceful, lawful, and efficient conduct of the business of the party contrary to provisions of Article 58 sub 1H of the PDP Constitution 2017 by inviting security agents and other persons and thugs to interfere in the ordinary business of the party at the headquarters of the party in Abuja. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has called on the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court to recuse itself from the suit filed by Senator Samuel Anyanwu, challenging his removal as the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. INEC, in a counter affidavit filed in opposition to the suit, argued that it would be in the interest of justice for all parties to await the outcome of an appeal on the dispute, which is already pending before the Supreme Court. Joining us now is Ukairo, PDP Southeast legal advisor. Good morning, Mr. Ukairo, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, Abati.
Okay, Mr. Ukairo.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Let's start with a clarification.
Yes, please.
I know you are PDP's Southeast legal advisor. We have established that. Which faction of the PDP do you belong to? Are you in the Wike faction or you are in the mainstream faction? Let's clarify that before I ask my first question, because I'd like to know who I'm talking to.
Please, there's neither mainstream, PDP, or any faction at all. It is rather a creation of the media for sensation. We have only one PDP, and we have only one national secretary, and that is Senator Samuel Anyanwu. There are no disputes about it. If you go to INEC website, you'll see it. If you go to the INEC records, you'll see it. All these are, in fact, your intro really brought to fore the extent of discussion we're going to have, because you said Wike loyalist. And then you also talked about INEC, saying that parties should stay where they are to allow the Supreme Court to enter a decision. The whole essence of the attack is the perceived notion, which is unfounded, that Senator Sam Anyanwu sleeps and wakes up with Wike in terms of PDP politics. Nothing can be further from the truth. In fact, at the end of this struggle, Senator Sam Anyanwu will go down in history as a defender of democracy. Because if you go back, you know that there has been this trend in PDP where after a smoky room field meeting, somebody is removed by the pain of those who think they own the structure. Senator Samuel Anyanwu is only saying, I can only be removed through due process in accordance with the Constitution. And for goodness sake, all we have said is, allow the Supreme Court to enter this decision, and then we move from there. But they're so much in a hurry to disturb the system. So there's this agitation, faction this, faction that. Please, there's no faction. I belong to PDP and only one PDP.
Okay.
Remember, too, that PDP...
Go ahead.
The PDP has a PDP, the symbol of PDP is an umbrella with different colors. So you can find yourself having one tendency or the other, but all of them under one umbrella of PDP. There are no factions, please.
Okay. I mean, okay. You know, your reaction speaks for itself. So let's not drag that. But what's your comment on the decision of the disciplinary committee to say that Senator Anyanwu brought talks to to a meeting of the party and that he had violated the constitution of the party, even on that basis alone. If we're not even talking about the issue with Jude Okoye, who was appointed as secretary in replacement from the Southeast, the same Southeast, when Senator Anyanwu said he was going to run for governorship in Imo State. But can you address the issue about the expulsion?
Please, let's put it this way. I've challenged those who said they removed Samuel Anyanwu and appointed Udo Okoye to point out in PDP constitutional guidelines where it's mandatory that if you want to run for governorship, you resign. It's not there, and I challenge anybody. I've done it on air before. I do it today. On the issue of expulsion, I'm shocked that men considered to have high intellectual repute will come together and sit together and say they're expelling Dr. Samuel Anyanwu, Senator Samuel Anyanwu over a non-existent petition. Who are those who wrote the petition? They are called PDP Young Generation Caucus. Please, I challenge Arise. Let those who sat on that petition bring out a copy of it for Nigerians to see. Is PDP Young Lawyers Generation Caucus a member of PDP? Faceless people came together and wrote a petition, and men who are founded, who are grounded in law, in intellect, sat and started looking at it. Meanwhile, the PDP Constitution, Chapter 10, I'm talking of Article 57.3, says it's a working committee that will meet and recommend the hearing of a petition to the disciplinary committee. The National Working Committee never made to recommend such to the disciplinary committee. A letter was written straight to the disciplinary committee by a faceless group. We've gone to CAC, it's not there. They are not members, they're not a non-member of PDP. So it's a non-starter. What is happening is, in your intro, you said Wike supporter, Senator Samuel. That's all he's suffering. Instead of human beings knocking the anus that farted, they knock on the head. Senator Samuel Anyanwu, for goodness sake, cannot appear before a kangaroo disciplinary committee constituted by men who do not have the foundation to do so. And that is why we allow them to roll on. I'm sure his legal team will take action. But where I'm particularly concerned is how a group of men will receive a petition, direct PDP Young Generation Caucus. If they believe in what they are doing, why wasn't it a member that wrote and then National Working Committee will sit? Please, for goodness sake, this battle is about institutionalizing democracy in Nigeria. It's about institutionalizing democracy in PDP, where some persons cannot just sit down and dictate who occupies any position. That is the ground norm. That's the foundation of this confrontation, that PDP should abide by its constitution, allow its constitution to roll, and most importantly, look at how this thing came up. Early this week, or last week, the argument was taken. No, early this week, it was on Monday. The argument was taken at the Supreme Court on the position of Samuel Anyanwu. Immediately after that, this one cropped up. It's all a design to overrun somebody whose only sin is being a friend to Wike. And for goodness sake, there is no place in PDP constitution where it said that my friendship with somebody can influence how I'm dealt with.
All right.
The question is, has he infracted on the PDP constitution, and was there a valid petition against him? For goodness sake, the answer is certainly no.
All right, Mr. Ukairo, thank you. I find it quite interesting that you say that the disciplinary committee, you don't recognize the disciplinary committee. I recall that last year, in August to be specific, the National Working Committee, through the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Honorable Debo Olugwangba, announced the constitution of two committees, Reconciliation Committee and the Disciplinary Committee. At that point, why wasn't it challenged? Because these committees were instituted by the National Working Committee. So it's interesting that today you come and say that they wouldn't appear before this committee because it's not recognized. Who put them together? Can you expatiate on that based on this announcement?
I said, please, yes, let me. Article 57(3) of the PDP Constitution says, the working committee at any level of the party and the executive committee at the ward level may, after preliminary hearings, suspend a member from the party for a period not exceeding 1 month, during which period the member so suspended shall lose his right to contest any election and shall be referred to the appropriate disciplinary committee. I'm saying that there is no minute of National Working Committee meeting, looking at the petition at a preliminary level, and then recommending to the disciplinary committee to look at it. And to that extent, the disciplinary committee was exercising a power it didn't have in respect of this petition.
Yes, but they've cited,
if the petition properly
Mr. Ukairo,
it.
Mr. Ukairo, they said that the disciplinary committee is recommending to the NWC the expulsion of Senator Sam Anyanwu.
No. Thank you very much. That is what I'm saying. It is the National Working Committee that sends petition to the Judicial Committee. There is no such record. It was sent to them. The petition was straight to the disciplinary committee. Let them open it up to Nigerians. Let them stop hiding that petition.
Okay, so in the event...
By the PDP young generation. Let them stop hiding it.
Mr. Ukairo,
let them bring it out. Let them flash it. Let us see it.
Mr. Ukairo, based on this question, based on your response, with the recommendation by the disciplinary committee, which was instituted, don't forget, by the NWC, can the NWC then take this up? Because if you're saying and then follow due process, it doesn't exclude that, does it?
It completely excludes it. When there is a breach of fundamental norm for arriving at a situation, as a decision, as in this case, such decision is founded on nothing. You can't place something on nothing and expect it to stand. It is the National Working Committee that recommends to them, and then they now will sit. That petition was not before them by any due process. It's part of this horrid attempt. I don't know what they felt would be the outcome of the Supreme Court decision. Suddenly, they came up with this one. It's all orchestrated and designed for a purpose. Overwhelm him, overrun him, because he's a friend to His Excellency.
Can you hear me?
Nothing more, nothing else. We are talking of procedure. And until we start respecting procedure in terms of party norms and our politics, we are in danger.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Real quickly. I'm happy, so you'll be able to confirm that Sam Anyanwu is friends with Nyesom Wike, and that speaks volumes. So
it was in your intro.
No.
It was your intro, please.
No. You also confirmed it. Let me remind you your words. You confirmed it. You said, "Is it because?" Wait, let me finish now. Let me finish. You won't let me speak. Let me finish. Just listen. You also confirmed it with your own mouth just now by saying, "When does being friends with somebody causes a problem?" It is a problem with all the skirmishes. So you confirmed it. You can accept you confirmed it. But let me read this to you because we don't have time. The National Working Committee of the People's Democracy has affirmed the former youth leader, Sunday Ode Okoye, as party's national secretary. This was on the 12th of February 2025. And they are saying this, it's bound by the judgment of the Court of Appeal on the matter. So if the National Working Committee of a party said they've affirmed somebody, in fact, they even said that they've begun sending resolutions by affirming Ode Okoye as PDP National Secretary to INEC, all right? So if they are saying bound by the Court of Appeal matter, why don't Anyanwu at least wait till the Supreme Court rule on the matter before he flexes his muscle? Why is he going around with this capacity to stay and all of that? And please, is it logically correct? I'd like to ask you, because you are stating because it's not stated in the law, but is it logically correct for somebody to go and run for governor and fail at doing that, and the position he left behind, he wants to come back? Now only Anyanwu did the world. What kind of life are we living?
I don't know which type of life you want us to live, but it's not prohibited in the Constitution. It was prohibited before. Listen, it was prohibited before. Whatever informed the amendment, Ukairo does not know. But it was amended to allow it to happen. And that's why the governor of Zamfara did that. It's not only him. He was a chairman also when he ran for governorship. So please, that's not an issue. Then on the other issue of Sam Anyanwu is at the Supreme Court. For goodness sake, the Court of Appeal is not the apex court. And when you file a suit, an appeal at the Supreme Court, immediately the appeal is entered, the appeal is said to have been, the record of appeal is said to have been transmitted. It's an automatic stay on all issues concerning that matter.
Okay, Mr.
It's an automatic stay.
If
those people believe so much in the sanctity. Yes, please.
Before we go, in 1 second.
Yes, please.
Do you share the view by some people that it's the APC that is orchestrating crisis in the PDP?
Well, there's a presumption that the normal course of business is being followed. In this case, that if there is crisis in PDP, it should have been this fifth columnist, including members of this cycle, those causing this crisis. They must be working for somebody. And as we say, when you see a bird dancing in the road, somebody is burning inside the bush. So it must be APC or some other groups. But importantly, what these people are doing is inconsistent with the stabilization of PDP. So we are entitled to suspect that they must be working for an opponent.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time with us this morning, Mr. Ukairo.